Billy Woods. Billy Woods.
Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of the new Billy Woods album. Billy Woods is a mysterious DC-based rapper who kind of jump-started his long-running solo career with an incredibly dark, topical, lyrical, and moody hip-hop album last year, History Will Absolve Me. And as far as Woods' rap style goes, he has this flow that sort of blurs lines between rapping and spoken word, sort of ranting. And the way Billy delivers these lyrics comes off really forceful, convincing. The meaning of what Billy is saying, for the most part, hits at least me very instantaneously because he tries his best to be a very vivid storyteller, a communicator, an emotion conveyor. And the guy makes some really great production choices as well, which brings me to why Dour Candy is sort of a unique moment for Billy in his career. He's got all the production handled by one single person, a pretty popular underground hip-hop producer, Blockhead, who of course is most famous for his work with A$AP Rock. When I first heard of Billy working with a producer for the length of an entire album on this new project, I was pretty excited about the concept potential behind Dour Candy. And I gotta say, after numerous listens to this album, there is a significant theme, at least, if not a story, running through this album. And it's a theme that really delivers on the title here. You have the word Dour, which isn't an often used word, but means things like gloomy, severe, and candy, which I think is sort of a piece of symbolism for drugs, which are often mentioned throughout this LP. And not just really doing them or getting addicted to them, having them ruin your life, mostly selling them. It's really a story of someone who was living really small time while selling drugs, and just kind of the life that this person is leading. And this story may be more personal than Billy lets on. And on top of this, Blockhead lends some really good production to this LP. Not incredibly layered or flashy or anything like that. There are a few moments that get really melodic and sort of progressive, like his old A$AP Rock production. But for the most part, the instrumentals on this LP feel eerie, they feel rough. They set the stage for something that feels like some crimes are going to be committed, some harsh realities are going to be exposed. It's one grimy sample after another, and kick drums and snares that don't so much boom or bang, but really just sort of thud. Still, the roughness of these beats doesn't stop Blockhead from getting really creative with what he samples, or the pace of his rhythms, or the detail in his rhythms, like the song MANTECA, which has these really odd old man vocals singing against these very weird synthesizer leads, or the depressing chords and descending bass guitar on the track GILGAMESH, which has these birds sampled throughout the chorus too. For a hip-hop beat, it really sounds like a funeral march. And the track POACHERS, which has a strong desert vibe to it. The song TINSELTOWN, one of my favorite tracks on here, does have more of an old school Blockhead vibe to it. And while I love the sad, soulful horns on the track 1001 Nights, I wish this song got developed a little bit more into something with maybe a little bit more structure, because it feels like this same horn sample is just being repeated over and over. I don't know, there are just some songs where I wish they hit a little harder, made a bit more impact, like the potentially great Posse track on here, Fool's Gold, with Open Mike Eagle, Mocha Only, Lucid, and Billy Woods on the track too. The beat, in my opinion, really sort of meanders, and when it does change, the things it adds to the equation are not really that interesting, like the very weak synth melody leads that occur under the second and fourth verses on this track. As far as Billy's rap style, I'm not really seeing a whole lot of change between this LP and History Will Absolve Me. He sounds just as passionate and focused as he did last year. Maybe what he's saying comes off a little more coded, but the more I listen to it, the more vivid this image becomes, and the more I feel like this is what Billy had been doing with his life, maybe up until the point when he kind of started his rap career. Because he does throw in images of cops, extortion, DAs busting through the wall like the Kool-Aid guy, paranoia, dim prospects, girlfriends and old flames, all while throwing some moral undertones under all of it, like forgetting about the golden rule for a few pieces of silver. I could be wrong about how non-fictional this story is, but Billy doesn't really seem unafraid to toss in a reference here and there to his rapping or his rap career, which he does on the song Hack. he does on the song Central Park, where he reminisces a little bit about helping kids out with their fractions in measuring product out. But this is one of the few moments where Billy goes into the technical and descriptive side of selling drugs. Really, for the most part, he's painting a picture of this person's life while this career move is kind of going on, like on the song Poachers, where he seems to be getting involved with the family of someone that he knows who got arrested and taken away by the police for what I assume is what Billy has been rapping about. There are a lot of great spots like this on this LP. My issue is that toward the end, I really sort of feel like this picture, this image, this story, whatever you want to call it, falls apart a little bit, and he doesn't consistently deliver more imagery or just develop more curves or more corners in this shape that he's trying to create. And I don't necessarily feel like the features on this album either add to the story that Dour Candy tells. Overall, I did enjoy this album a lot, but I do feel like Woods' portrait could have come in clearer, the production could have been a little bit more memorable at some points, but still, I do feel like, in a way, Dour Candy is a more ambitious move for Billy Woods. And if he continues to work with the kind of storytelling that attempts to reach from the first track of an album to the last track of an album, I could see an even greater project coming from him in the future. I'm feeling a decent strong 7 on this thing. If you've given it a listen, what did you think of it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? What do you think I should review next? And that's it. This review is my opinion. If you don't like it, here's a straw. I want to give a shout out to Egypt, as well as Feeding Tube Records. All mistakes were intentional. Only the strong subscribe. Billy Woods, The Needle Drop, Blockhead, forever.